Okay, so I think we'll just get started. And thank you for joining this webinar. As those of you online are aware, at COP15, we adopted the Global Biodiversity Framework, and along with the adoption of the Global Biodiversity Framework, there were decisions on planning, monitoring, review, and reporting that were agreed. And in the decision 15.6, which is the one that talks about the national reports and the NBSAPs, countries agreed to submitting their NBSAPs by COP16 and to submit national reports by February of 2026. And so at the Secretariat, we've been developing the online reporting tool in order to provide a place for countries to submit their national targets aligned with the Global Biodiversity Framework and to submit their national reports. So last year, we launched the functionality for the submission of national targets. This is currently available in the online reporting tool. And now we're working to make sure that we have the functionality for the national reports ready by next year so that countries will be in a position to submit their national reports. I would mention that the national reporting functionality builds upon the submission of the national targets. And so in order to complete the national report, you would first have to put national targets into the system, as the national reports in the template are based on the national targets. So we're going to give a demo of the functionality for both the submission of national targets and the current functionality for the submission of the national reports. I would say in terms of the national reports, we're only providing a snapshot. So all of the indicators in the monitoring framework are not there at the moment. There's a few that are there for testing so that you can test out that functionality. And we're very much looking for your feedback and looking to hear how you think the functionality is working for the submission of national reports so that we can better develop the tool and make it available to everyone next year. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Blaise, who's the one that's developing this tool, and he is going to provide a walkthrough of the current functionality. So over to you, Blaise.
Thank you, Jillian. Good morning, everyone. My name is Blaise Fonseca. I'm a software engineer with the CBD IT team. So we'll start with the demo. So before we start with the demo, I just want to mention a few things that the testing that we're doing is on our test site. So any data that you enter here will be considered only dummy data, test data, and will not have any relevance. So just please make sure that any data you enter will not be like migrated to your real site. I hope everybody can see my screen. So the first thing that you need to do is to go to the test site, which is ort.cbd.xyz. This is the test website. If you're coming for the first time, and if you're a national user, you should have access to this site. But if you are coming for the first time, and if you're not a national user, please let us know in chat or contact us directly, and we'll have to provide you a special role to access the certain functionality of the tool. So the first thing that we'll do is sign in to the tool. So we have the sign in button on the top right. You'll use your CBD account to log in. Once you log in, there are two important things that you should check in order for you to get access to the tool. The first thing is we have a small box, a user info box. Just make sure that you have country affiliation. It shows your national country, and you have a role. Either it's a National Focal Point Publishing Authority, or you have a National Authorized User role. The difference between these two roles is a national authorized user can draft information for the country, but he cannot publish that information. and your country can have multiple national authorized users. The draft information that the national authorized user creates will require a publishing authority or national focal point to review and then publish. While a national focal point can directly publish the information, so you just make sure that you have these two rules. uh, So as Gillian mentioned, we have Annex 1, Annex 2, and we are now testing the Annex 2. So the Annex 2 is only available on our test site, and the Annex 1 is available on the live site for countries to submit the national target. But the Annex 2 is dependent on Annex 1 because the national target that the country creates will be automatically populated in your Annex 2 in the 7 national report. So we'll do a quick drive how information from national target moves to to Annex 2 in a national 7 national report. So on the right side, if you'll see, we have this national target menu, and there is something called mine country target. So this is a country specific space. This is a unique space, and only countries with authorized roles will have access to this information. Uh, any draft information is only available to your country until it has been published. So if you have any draft information, nobody else can access this information. So under national targets, the national target is divided into two parts. Part one, which deals with the national target template itself, and then part two deals with the national mapping with the global targets. So we'll quickly drive through them, what they are. And then the overview is a section which gives you an overview of both the part one and part two, and then allows you to publish all your information. So we'll start with submitting a national target. So on the national target submission, you have the option to select the language of submission. So in case if you're going to submit information in any of one of the UN languages, you have the option to select. You can select multiple languages. The moment you select multiple languages, uh, the system will add the input boxes, multiply the input boxes by number of languages that you have selected. So, like you see, I have selected English and French. So the target title has been now multiplied to have an input box in English as well as French. Similarly, the other boxes will also multiply. In case if you are submitting information beyond the UN languages, we do have an option. You can select this, answer this question that you want to submit this information in other languages, and then you can select your national language if you wish to do so. This is not a mandatory option, but if you wish to do so, you can do it. For demo purpose, I'm just going to select English. Also want to highlight that the online reporting tool is available in all 6 UN languages. You can change the language of the application, clicking on the top drop-down menu of the language. And once you select the language, the system will be switched to the language of your selection. So we'll start with a small test. So I'll start with a small target title for our target. Then further, when you further go further, you will notice that we have a lot of these boxes here, which looks like a mini Word file. This is what we call rich text editors, and you will find them all over the tool, even in Annex 2. But I will show the demo when we go to the Annex 2. These are very powerful text editor where you can upload images, copy text from Word files, and do a lot of formatting. We'll do a demo later in the later section. Then further, when we go, we have this alignment section where you select align your national target with the global targets. You can also select if your national target is contributing to any of the global goals. So you can select one or more global goals here. Then you can select the national target. So if the national target, this is a mandatory field, so you'll see an asterisk next to each field and a red border. That means the particular question is mandatory and it needs to be answered before the information can be published. So here we can select pollution target and then maybe a knowledge target 21. So the moment you select a global target, align a global target with a national target, you will get a degree of alignment option. This is where you will provide the alignment for your national target against the global target. So this is where you provide if the degree of alignment is high, medium, or low. We'll provide some option. Then further, the next questions are straightforward. So you can, as you read, these questions are straightforward. Uh, then we go to the next important section is the indicator section. So the important there's an important thing that needs to be noticed here is the headline indicators and binary indicators. If there are any headline indicators or binary indicators that come under the global target that you have selected, these headline indicators will be automatically linked with your national target. You'll see there is no selection box. They are automatically linked to your global target. Similarly, if any of the global targets have binary indicators, they will also be automatically linked with your national target. Then we have the selection of component and complementary. So in case if your country wishes to link component and complementary indicators with the national target, you can do so. Again, you have a drop-down list. You can select one or more component or complementary indicators. Then the last option is other national indicators. So in case if any of the indicators that have that are in the system, you want to provide indicators beyond that, you have the option to add your own national indicators. This is a free text entry, so you can provide any text you wish to. So, for example, I will say red list. So you will notice that the moment I start typing, the system automatically adds a new empty text box. Just to allow you to add as many other national indicators as you wish. In case if you don't if you want to remove, we have the option to remove the option and edit is also possible. So once you finish entering all this information, you can either review the information. This will give you an overview of what the information will look like once you have published this information. This will also give you any validation errors, meaning if you have missed any mandatory information. It is recommended that you always try to use the save draft button every 5 to 10 minutes so that in case anything goes wrong, you do not lose any information. We have recently also added a print option because countries have been asking an option to allow printing the information. So if you wish to do that, you can click on the print button, which will give you a print, allow you to print the national target or any other information that's available in the online reporting tool. So once we do that, we close the option. We go back to the overview section of part one. Recently, on the section, we have this information, what we call it as facets. This gives you a number of records that have been published by your country. So, because if I'm on my test record, test site, I have 13 published records. I have one draft record, the one that we just created. We have also added filters for easy navigation for the countries. because some countries have like more than 50 national targets. It's difficult for them to manage. So you can either filter by the national target title itself. So here you will see all the national targets that you have created. You can select uh, and filter the information if you wish to. You can also filter by the global targets that are linked with your national target. So for example, we just created a target linked with to pollution. So if I select target 7, you will see that the system only filters out the target that have been linked with target 7. You can select more than one so that you can focus on particular targets if you like to. Similarly, you can filter information based on global goals if you wish to. Uh, there have been a lot of questions that if countries can edit the information, so you as an owner, you are the owner. If you're a national user, you are the owner of the records, so you can edit it as many as you like to. Even after you have published the information, if you think like you want to make modifications, you can come back. You can come back to the my country targets section and edit whichever record you wish to do so. So for example, I have this ORT demo target. If I want to edit it, I just click on edit. The system will take me back to the edit form. You have the same section to edit the information. You edit, you follow the same process. You save draft, you close, and then we go back to the overview page where you will be able to publish that information. So this is part 1. Then we go to part 2. The part 2 is the national mapping with the global targets. Here you will be able to provide if there is any reference period or global target information for all the global targets. Please note that you will be only able to provide this information if you have a national target for the global target. If you do not have a national target for any of the global target, the system will highlight saying that you do not have a national target and you need to create a national target before you can provide this information. So quickly, when we add mapping information, it opens a small dialog where you provide the elements of global targets. And then if you wish to provide any reference period for any of the headline indicators the headline indicators that fall under the global target. So in our case, it's goal B. You will have the option to answer yes, and then you can explain provide any reference information that you have. The rest of the functionality is same. You do review, save draft, print. So once you have entered all this information, we have also provided filtering options on these screens as well, because there are 27 records, 27 total global goals and targets. So in case if you wish to filter out information and focus on just one of the global target or goal, you can do so. You can also filter by national target. So in case if you want to see all the global targets where where your national target is linked to, you select the national target. Once you select the national target, we'll see only goal A and target 23 is shown on the screen. That means my national target 23 is linked to these two global targets. So once we have entered all this information, we go back to the overview page. The overview page gives you an overview of both part 1 and part 2. This will allow you to validate information from part 1 and part 2. So here is the validate button. If there are any validation errors, the system will show you that validation errors and highlight them for you. So just make sure that you enter all this information. Once the information is entered, we click on publish. So right now we only have one draft records. The system highlights for you while we are asking users to countries to submit national targets for each global targets. Sometimes the countries may not have, but we are not stopping the countries from publishing their information. However, the system highlights saying that there are few global targets that do not have a national target. So you get an overview of which national targets are missing. But you can say I still want to proceed with whatever information I have. A second dialogue appears for the part two. So the previous dialogue was for part one. The next dialogue is part two, that we are missing national mapping with these global targets. I'm going to say I still want to proceed. This is a final confirmation. Once I say yes, the system will publish this information. So based on how many national targets you have, it will take a while, 1 or 2 minutes, to publish all the information. Once this information has been published, so here we have our information published. So like we see here, our target for pollution has now been changed to publish. So now this information will be available for general public to view. So if you go back to all national targets, so this is the section which does not require login, and anybody in the world can navigate to this menu and see. So here we have is our target for pollution. So this, in a quick overview, is the Annex 1. So then we move forward to the Annex 2, which is uh, which is the section that we are testing today. Uh, so all the information, all the national targets that we have entered in our Annex 1, they will automatically be carried forward to Annex 2 in the seventh national report. So now we will go to Annex 2 by clicking on 7 national report. Again, it's the same functionality. You have my country space. This is a unique space created for your country, for your 7 national report. Only you and authorized users have access to this information till its draft information. Once it has been published, it will be made available to the general public. So we do have an easy navigation for the 7 national report as well. We have created 5 different sections based on the template that was adopted at COP15. And then we do have an overview section to give you an overview of the information that has been submitted. So we'll come back to the indicator data tab. What it is when we go to this section 3, which is which is the most important section like which is the most complex section of all the sections. So when we go to section 1, it is important that you select the language of your submission. Please make sure that you select the one that your country wishes to enter. Sometimes countries select multiple languages, and then the system will multiply the input boxes according to the selection boxes. So just make sure that you select the ones that you wish to enter, so that you don't have double input boxes. So in my case, let's say we're gonna say keep just English. So then we come to the first section of section 1. So here we'll see if we try to do review. The system highlights that there is some mandatory information missing in section 1. If we click on the error, it takes me to the section, the question that is missing, and it highlights it in red for the mandatory information. So like I was mentioning that you will see these boxes which look like a mini Word application. So we'll do a small demo of how this application works and how powerful they are. So for example, I'm gonna just open a Word file. So I have a dummy Word file that I let's say for example this is my text that I wish to input. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say copy, and then I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna say paste. Uh, so you will see now that the system retained all the formatting that we had in our Word file. You'll see like this was like in a heading 1 format, and things there are spaces and all that was retained, that was in our Word file that has been retained. You'll see some of the text had links that has also been linked. So the system tries to retain as much as possible from the Word file as possible. You can also add links for other formatting that is all directly available in the system on the editor itself. For example, I can have formatting. I can have this numbering formatting. I have the option of providing different kinds of headings. You can also convert a text to a link. If you wish to add uh, tables, you can do so. If you wish to add images, which is like the most asked feature, you can do so by dragging and dropping. So here you'll see I have two images that I wish to upload to my editor or to my text. So I'm just going to drag and drop these two images. I think there's some issue with our upload images, but like you'll see once you drag and drop the image, you will see the file gets uploaded to our server, and then you will see the image, and then you will be able to modify the image as you like to. Like you can resize the image. I'm gonna show the image resizing demo in another section, so that because I'm not able to upload the file for some reason. But once you upload the image, the system will show you the file on the screen, and then you can resize the image as you like. You have the option of predefined sizes. If you wish to have your own size, you can move your cursor to the end of the image, and you'll see the cursor turns out to be a resize cursor, and then you can select and you can resize the image as you like. You can align the image as you wish to on your right or left, and then provide continuing adding the text as you like. You can also upload attachments. So in case if you wish to upload complement your text with a document, you can do so. You can again follow the same step. You drag and drop a attachment file. The system will create a link for you, upload the file to our servers, and then create a link for you for that file that we just uploaded. So we're just going to go back to what 7 national report. So we have this information. So we have completed section 1. Similarly, we go to section 2. We have few questions that you need to answer. Once again, these are straightforward questions that once you answer, you follow the same steps. Section 4, again, it's a simple question. Sorry, section 5, you have one single question. In section 5, you answer, you save draft. So these are the simple sections. Then we go to the section 3, which is the most uh, for me, it's like the complex section. This is where your information from your Annex 1, the national targets, will be populated for you. So all the national targets that you have created for your country, please note that only published information will come here. So if you create any draft information, they will not appear in your 7 national report. Your national targets are required to be published so that they can appear on the on your 7th national report section. So you see here now that I have all my national targets that I have published for my country. Uh, we are explicitly highlighting a national in the suffix next to each target. The reason is that in case if your country decides to have, let's say, only 20 national targets aligned with only 20 global targets, so you're missing, like, let's say, 3 national targets. So in that case, the system will let you uh, uh, assess against the global target. So for example, all our national targets have been listed here, and then at the end, you will see that the system is listing all the global targets. It's explicitly telling you this is a global target because your country does not have any national target aligned with the global target. So you will have to do the assessment in 7 national report against the global target. The template is the same template that gets repeated for each of the target. This is the same template that was adopted in the COP document. It has like few questions that you need to answer. Most of the questions are mandatory. They have been highlighted except for one question at the end, the last question in this section. So the same template repeats for each of the for each of the national target. The important section here that we will focus more on is the data. So when you are assessing information for your national target in the 7 national report, the countries have to provide data against each indicators. So all the indicators that you have linked with your national target in Annex 1, they will also be populated under the indicator data section. So here we see that my national target for pollution, I have 14 indicators that are linked to my national indicator, my national target. So all the headline indicators have been listed here. Then if I have any binary indicators, they will also be listed. Then if I have linked any component indicators, we selected two component indicators. They are listed here. Then we have any complementary indicators that we have linked. And then the system also shows any national indicator. We created a national indicator called red list. So it also appears here. So for each indicator, you are required to provide data for each of the indicators. Now the question is, now the important, again, another thing to notice is one global target can be linked with multiple national target. So the same indicators can appear into multiple national targets. So you will have to provide, since then the users will have to provide data for each of the headline indicators. We do not want countries to provide data multiple times. So what we have done is, instead of asking users to provide data in each section, we have created an indicator data tab where the system will show all the headline indicators, all the indicators that are linked with your national targets, and allow you to add data in this section. And once you add the data here, and when you go back to section 3, every instance that the headline indicator appears in section 3, the data that you have provided in this indicator data will automatically populate there. So you do not have to provide data multiple times. Sorry. So we'll start with adding some data for headline indicators. So I will go to indicator C1, indicator on monetary benefits. I This is my test data, and I've already have some data, but so I can edit the data. But in case if you are adding it for the first time, you will have an option called add data, and it will behave the same as we are going to do it right now. So when I click on edit data, you have a small section. You have one question, the source of data. You have the option not relevant, no data available. Use the available data set. So this is the global data set, or you want to use the national data set. In case these are straightforward questions, if there is no data or no relevant, then you do not have to provide any information, any data, and then the system will not ask you for any data to be provided. In case if you decide to use any global data set, then the system will query the global data set system. In our case, we will query the WCMC target tracker system and fetch any information that is available for this global target for your country. So in my case, my country is Haiti. So in this case, when I selected this option, the system queried the WCMC target trackers system if there is any data available for this target and for my country. So since there was no data available, the system highlights there is no data found. In that case, you can decide to use your national data set. Once you click on national data set, the system will allow you to upload an Excel file. This is a predefined Excel file that that is that you'll have to provide. You cannot provide any Excel file, so it has a certain format that you needs to be provided. The format also was a part of the template of the COP document. Uh, so in case we have just made it easy for users we have made the template available for the users, so they can click on this link and the system it will download you the Excel file. This is the template that will be that is expected for countries to upload. So it has like the indicator information. If the data that you're providing if has any disaggregation, if there is a disaggregation and what disaggregation it has, the year of the data, the unit, and the value, and if there are any footnotes. So the template is quite simple. So we will do a small upload. So we have now selected use national data set. I'm going to show. I will show an sample data that I have created. So I have a sample data set that I have created for the demo. So I have this is the data for C1. There is disaggregation. There is some disaggregation information. Uh, the year for which the data, the unit, because this is financial, the unit is in currency. But if it's some other indicator, then the unit will differ based on which indicator you are uploading the information in. And then we have the value. So we're gonna just upload the file. Select the information. Once you select the file, the system will read your Excel file and populate the information on the screen. So please note that if the system reads the Excel in the same exact format that has been provided in the template. So in case if you have any extra fields, the system will ignore those fields. If you wish to provide any extra information, you do have a comments section available. You can add any information to complement the data in this section. But any other extra fields in any columns will be automatically ignored by the system. Again, the form follows the same kind of format. You save draft. If you wish to do the review, you can check how the data will look like. You can print, and then we can close. We will see a small demo of how data is populated from a global data set. For that, we will go to D1 on international funding, including official development assistance. So this is the data. This is the test indicator that already has data. So just gonna select other options so that we see how the system loads the information. So in this case, I think maybe there is some global data available for my country. So I'm going to click use available data, pre-populated data from the global data set. Once I click, the system queries the global data set and then populates the information. So you'll notice that the information is populated in the same format. So it's following the same format. So the global data set and the national data set do not differ. It has the same format. It has the indicator code. If there is any disaggregation, in our case, the disaggregation is none because there is no disaggregation. The year, the unit, and the value. So it follows the same structure. Because this is coming from an external source, we do also show the information about where this information is coming from. So this source information was collected, was rather provided by OECD, and then there's some description from the global data set. So we try to show as we just trying to make it as transparent as possible so that the users know where the data is coming from. In case if you do not wish to use this data set, you can always use national data set. So you can provide your own national data set. Again, the template will be made available to you. You click on the template, downloads, you add your data, or if you have your own Excel, you just follow the same template that we have it provided through the system, and then you upload, and then your data will be added to the system. So once we have started, we have uploaded information for this headline indicators. We can move to binary indicators. So binary indicators, as you know, like are binary questions that's mainly yes and no, and some of them have options. So we'll just do a demo of one of the binary question. The binary questions are only available for binary indicator 1 for number of countries using the terrestrial and marine spatial planning indicator. So once you edit your response, so instead of uploading data, this time you have questions to answer. These are simple questions that you can answer. And again, if you wish to complement your answers with some information, we do have an comments box where you can provide information uh, 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 based on the answers or information that you have provided. Uh, this is just a selection radio selection, so you can select either one of the options provided. Same thing happens. You do review, save draft. You see how your information is displayed. Once you save the information will be displayed to you on the screen, and then the same information will be propagated to all the instance of this binary indicator in section 3, which we will go back again just to see how this information is displayed. Similarly, we have component, complementary, and other national indicators. This information is optional, but you are encouraged to provide any data that you might have available for any of the complementary or component or the national indicators you have linked with your national targets. It follows the same structure. You will have add data. It will show you the same screen. You have the option to select if you wish to use national data set. You will have the option to upload the same Excel file that we saw in the previous demo. And once you upload, the data will be populated here on this section. Another thing what we have done like another thing is in case if once you create national targets, you're going to link component and complementary indicators. However, there might be case when you are at the stage of Annex 2, when you're assessing your national report, and you may want to provide data for uh, any of the complementary or component indicator uh, that are not linked with your national target. So in that case, the system will just show you a drop-down list. These are all the component indicators that are not linked with your any of your national targets. So this is just a list which we skipped from linking with your national target. So you can do so by selecting the component indicator that you wish to provide an extra data to. The system will add it to the list of indicators here. So this indicator that we just added is not linked with any of my national target, but it is just, we are just making available the data available for this indicator at the stage of Annex 2 and the stage of reporting of 7 national report. Same thing happens with complementary indicators. You can provide data for the complementary indicators that we have selected in our national targets. If you wish to add an extra complementary indicator, provide data for an complementary indicator, you can do the same thing. Then we have the other national indicators. So these are the national indicators that we added we added to our national target. The same process is followed here. You provide add data, you can upload data, or you can say not relevant or no data available, or you can totally skip this option. Providing data for other national indicators is again optional. So once we have provided all this information, we can go to section 3 and then we'll see how this information that we just uploaded in the indicators section, indicator data section, will automatically be populated in section 3. So once we go back to section 3, we have our national targets listed here and the template. Below that, we have the indicator data, and then we have the list of indicators. So in our case, we did not provide any data for the indicators that are listed here. We do have an option to provide data here itself in section 3. If you provide data in this section, the system will upload the data to this the indicator data tab as well, so that it also gets populated to other instances. So you don't have to duplicate the provide the data multiple times. You can do so through this section as well. So in our case, in our national target, we did provide data for headline indicator D1. So you'll see that the data has been pre-populated for us. So this way, you will see all the information, the comments, and the data has been populated for us. Then if we scroll slowly to other sections, to other national targets, we'll see that the data keeps populating where the data has been uploaded. So in this case, C1, and then D1 again. So D1 here is for my Title 1 national target. The system at the top shows when you're scrolling, it does show you which national target you are on, so that it's making easy for the user to know which section you are looking at or browsing. So once we scroll, so now we will be crossing over WCS target 19. So now the system will fix the header to WCS national target 19. And again, the D1 is being pre-populated for you. So you're not uploading the data multiple times. So this way you keep uploading information for all these sections. once you have provided all the data, you follow the same steps. You do review, you save draft. If you wish to print, you can print. We have this collapse option, and we'll provide some filters so that it's easier for countries to work or focus on a particular target if they want to. Once you click collapse, the system will collapse all the national targets. Then you can click on one of the national target and just focus on that section. So with this, we come to end of the section 3. Then we go to section 4. The section 4 template is for global goals. So here the system displays all the 4 global goals that are the global goals, and then there is a template that again was adopted. There's only one single question that you need to provide: a summary of national progress contributing to the global goals. With that, again, we have the similar format as section 3. We have the indicator data section for each global goal. So all the indicators that are linked, that are all the headline indicators and binary indicators that follow and that come under the global goal will be displayed here, and you are requested to provide data for each of the headline indicator and binary indicator for that goal. Again, if you have uploaded any data in the indicator tab, or if you do that, if you do add data through this section as well, the data will be uploaded to section 3 as well and section 4 as well. So we're just trying to make it easy for users to make sure that they are uploading data only once. Data will be automatically populated to all the instances of that indicator uh, on all the instances where it appears. So in our case, because we answered the binary indicator B1, the system populated the information here for us. In case if you wish to add any data for complementary or component indicator the uh, from the global goal, you do have an option. These are the complementary and component indicators that are under the global goal. You can select one of the one that you want to provide data for. It's again the same system. It adds an indicator for you. You can add data, and then it will populate that information everywhere where that indicator is available. So so that comes to the end of section 4. Similarly, section 5 and then annex. Annex is an extra field that if you wish to provide any additional information beyond all the section 5 sections that we have in the template, you can do so here. And then once you have entered all the information, we go back to the overview page. So this overview page gives you an overview of all the sections. It kind of tries to give you a percentage of information that has been completed. So for example, I have provided information, all the information in section 1. So you'll see the progress here is like complete, but in section 2, maybe I've missed some fields. So that's why the progress here is half. And then maybe the other sections are missing all the information. So there is no progress. So it kind of gives you an overview of how much information your country has provided. So this section will also help you validate if you have missed any mandatory information. So we can click on validate. Once you do that, the system will validate all the sections for any mandatory information and then highlight for you if there is any mandatory information. So in section 2, it says like there is one mandatory information missing. In section 5, we have two mandatory questions that we did not answer to. In section 3, we have 60 because the system is repeating is listing all your national targets, and then there are like 5 questions for each of the national targets that you have to answer. So that's why the number, the validation number is high in section 3. So once you click on failed validation, the system will take you to edit page. And then once you click review, the system will highlight, so you don't have to browse, like scroll through each section. The system will highlight all the questions that we have missed. If we click on one of the questions, the system will just scroll you to the exact question where which is missing. So here we are at this section. Please provide summary, and it's highlighting for you in red that we need to provide the information. So once we validate all the information and provide all the information, and once we validate and it's all green, like section 1, here we see like if there's no red section, that means we can proceed to publish this information. Right now, I cannot publish this information because I have too much information missing. But once I click once you think like you are ready to publish all the information and all the information has been provided, you click on publish. The system will make sure that everything has been entered. Then the system will validate your roles. If you are a national authorized user, the system will send a request to your country's national focal point. It will send him an email saying like so and so user from your country has requested you to review the 7 national report for your country. Then the national focal point come to the online reporting tool. He can verify all the information, and once he thinks everything is good, he will have an option to approve, that will publish the information, or reject. Reject will bring back the information, send back the information back to the NEU, in case if the national focal point wishes to ask for changes or any modifications. So with that, once the information has been made public, uh, if you go to the all report section, so this again is a public menu. You do not need to log in to this section. It will show all the information that has been published by your country and other countries as well. So with that, I come to the end of my demo. If there are any questions, we'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Blaise. Lisa, can you read 1 or 2 questions from the chat room now we have? And then we can have a few more questions. We could have extended a little bit, few minutes for questions. Thank you. Lisa, please.
Lee-J, the questions have been largely answered in the chat by Ray. Carly Siege was mentioning if we could post in the chat the sample template for the indicator data, and Ray is checking on her access, her role in the ORT to see if she can have access through there, as we're not able to post a file here. And Anna Koblashlik was asking if in the indicator section, does this mean that we need to have a separate file prepared for each indicator? And Ray was mentioning that, yes, it does seem like you do have to have a separate file for each indicator. And the other questions have also been responded, like individual issues. And yeah, other people were thanking very much for the webinar, and I think that's all for now.
Any other questions from participants? You can either raise your hand to ask questions, or you could put your questions in the chat room. Okay, it looks like we're very good. Thank you so much for Blaise, the very good explanation and demonstration of the tool. I just want. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, there is one question on the chat Q&A section from Albaba saying that they have sent an email about converting Palace and CHM from test site to full gear. Like I just want to mention that if you have any information on the test site, we do not move it to the real site. The test data again is just considered as test data and only stays on the test site. In case if you are missing access to the live site, we can grant and make sure that you have the required roles. But we do not move any data from the test site to the real site. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Blaise. There is a question asking whether this webinar will be available on the CPD's website. Yes, we're thinking about posting this recording on the National Reporting webpage, but we'll let you know once this is posted, okay? Any other questions? Okay. Okay, it's good. I just want to quickly say thank you all for your participation and contribution. And of course, thanks to my colleague, Blaise, Ray, and Lisa for their hard work. And I just want to quickly say that I encourage you all and all other colleagues, even not join this webinar, to test this tool for the submission of the 7 national reports and provide your feedback, and because this feedback will be very helpful for us to further improve the tool and finalize the tool for the use of by parties. And of course, we encourage all the parties to submit their national targets through the tool, and hopefully before the August, so that we can include your target information in the global analysis to be presented to the COP16. With that, I thank you all, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.